Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I thought I would chat with you guys a little bit about how to build your deadlift using Conjugate, because I've done it quite a few ways. I've done it with Conjugate, I've done it with more 531-ish type programming, all this stuff. I've got deadlifts up to 600 plus myself, and I've done it different ways with different clients. You guys have seen I've had quite a few clients who've gotten to 600 plus. I've had a couple get close to 7. Never quite had that yet. I might by the time this video comes out. But, the question becomes, with the slightly bit of lower specificity on this system, how do we build a big deadlift? And one of the things you guys are going to notice consistently is we rotate ME stuff in, which is max effort. And I'm kind of a fan more and more these days of running double maxes. I like to see a squat and a hinge or deadlift of some type done on max effort day. And as you guys know, you'll generally have 2 lower days. So what is it that we're doing here? What are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to get heavy pulls in from different ranges of motion against different types of band tension, different types of chain tension, sometimes low block pulls, pin pulls, deficit pulls. Some people will do both sumo and conventional on it. Right, some people will, depending on what's going on with a lifter. But if you're really a lot stronger at conventional, which I tend to be, then by all means, do mostly conventional variations for your heavy work. And we do that to develop the skill of lifting a heavy weight. Okay, and you guys already know why we rotate different maxes on Conjugate. I've done other videos on that. But the first and foremost, what we do the heavy singles. And we do them for neuromuscular efficiency, intramuscular coordination, all these things that we need, neural drive, to pull heavy weights. Okay, I am really partial to deficits, by the way. A lot of my clients know this. They're like, yep, sometimes I'll have people do deficits from different heights. We'll do 2 or 3 different deficit pulls in their rotation. And I really like that for the raw lifters for building a big deadlift. I like deficits for heavy singles. Hey, I like it a lot. All right, what do we do outside of that? We do speed pulls. Now, we need to vary our speed pulls. Not everyone has bands and chains. Not everyone has bands and chains. Unfortunately, I do. A lot of my clients do. Simple enough, we can rotate bands and chains for speed work. I used to like singles for speed pulls for a lot of my lifters, but I found over time doubles work better. We can just get more pulling volume in. It doesn't beat us up. I like to rotate bands and chains if we have them. What else do we like to do? Rotate sumo and conventional. And I find rotating the opposite type of pull, no matter what you do, even if a person is way stronger at sumo or way stronger at conventional, and that's what we do mostly for their ME work, at the end of the day, I still find rotating for most lifters, unless they have something with their build where they really struggle with some mobility issues or something making sumo impossible, I like to do speed work with both, and I like to rotate them. And if we can't vary stimulus with all of that, that's one thing we can do. People who have straight weight, we're definitely going to have to do sumo and conventional if you don't have bands or chains. Okay, it works very, very well. It works very, very well. You can also, to change it up, you can change the heights. You can do deficit pulls. We can do block pulls. You can change bars. Whatever you need to do to rotate that stimulus for the speed work. But we do the speed work to practice pulling explosively, right? To develop that rate of force production. And we need to vary it also to help build some of the different muscles involved with it. And that's one of the reasons I like rotating sumo and conventional. Again, I have videos on why we rotate sumo and conventional, the benefits of it. Don't need to go into vast detail here, but this is a method that we use to build it up. Now, all of these things are how we build speed, power, technique, coordination on a deadlift. So how do we actually build the deadlift, though, on this system? All the supplemental work, the accessory work. And you guys see me up here using 2 of my personal favorite movements to build a deadlift. You see me doing the glute ham raise, and you see me doing reverse hypers. These are my personal go-tos, and I'm not saying that, again, everyone needs to do exactly these. You may not have access. But you need to build your posterior chain. We can talk about grip. We can talk about mid back, upper back. These are all important. But you know what? Those are easy to solve. Look, if someone's not trying to get super elite, they're just trying to get to a big deadlift, you could just do tons and tons of pull-ups. Pull-ups and rows will handle all that. Okay? And you should be doing that for your bench anyways. We're going to tend to do those things to get a bigger bench. So hopefully you're already doing it. You're doing pull-ups and things. And I like pull-ups for that. I think pull-ups work great. Particularly for building the deadlift, because it teaches us to lock those lats in. We build stronger lats, build stronger grip with pull-ups. But when it comes to building the muscles, the primary movers, because, okay, let's say your technique isn't perfect. You don't have the strongest lats to lift the heaviest weight possible. Your technique is a little slippery. That's fine. You're going to lift a little less. But none of that. That's about maintaining perfect bar path. It's not where we build the strength to move it. We build the strength to move it by building the muscles, and that's going to be the posterior chain. You need to build your posterior chain. I like these movements because they give us a lot of traction. We can do a lot of volumes and recover. Glutes and hamstrings will always be what move the weight. That is what moves the weight. Erectors contribute, not nearly as much. I'm not saying the low back doesn't matter. It does. It will also massively affect your bar path. But it's your glutes and your hamstrings that move the weight. The quads break it off the floor. But if we're already doing quad work, we're doing box squats, right? We're doing this other stuff to build our squat. That's already being covered. We don't need to think about it a whole lot with our deadlift. So where does the work need to be? Needs to be in our posterior chain. Someone says, well, I don't have access to a glute ham raise. I don't have access to reverse hyper. Okay, do back extensions, 45-degree hypers, lots and lots and lots of good mornings. Do hamstring curls. Okay, do deep box squats to help build the glutes, help build the hips. These are the things that you're going to need to do because you're going to need to build the posterior chain. A lot of times people say, well, the deadlift doesn't seem as reliant on size as other lifts, and that's true. There's a lot more leverage involved. But it does matter on size when it comes to the posterior chain. You need massive glutes, massive hamstrings, massive erectors also, to be fair. Again, we could argue about how much they contribute, but they do. And they're kind of mandatory to maintain an ideal bar path to really use your glutes and your hamstrings. So you have to build the posterior chain. That is what builds a big deadlift. So you have to hypertrophy those muscles. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.